Principally, I see Puusdung as a divine obedience to God. It's a conviction that we had, membership and leadership, to demonstrate the goodness of God that has been shown to the Ngas people who are special. And we must tell that story of God's goodness to us by the rich culture that we have. And so we took it on our own to ensure that what God has done to us is heard. And so we initiated collapsing all the districts and other cultural festivals into one huge one that will show the world what God has done to us. That to me was the reason. So it was a divine obedience to God. And we find it very, very instructive because the Ngas people are a special nation. And we need to demonstrate that. That was why Puusdung came around. And so in 35 years ago, the wind of change blew up and we all were unanimous about the need to bring all our cultural festivals under one umbrella. And we had a meeting. We thought it's important to have a committee that will think through this process and advise us. The committee did a wonderful job and came out with clearly defined perspectives, and the House was unanimous in agreeing to doing it. And so a task team, a facilitation team was constituted that will think through each of the areas, the enlightenment and publicity, the venue, the publicity. There was special teams assigned and they did their job wonderfully. I must note very outstandingly that there were success factors that cannot be hidden. Prime on the list is the unity and clarity of purpose of the youths as at that time. We could move mountains. We were united and there was nothing that we couldn't do as youths 35 years ago. That helped us achieve what we did as far as Puusdung is concerned. Number two, there was the readiness and willingness of all members to sacrifice. Wherever there's an assignment, people were available to go the extra mile. Thirdly, there was love among us. We were visiting each other, we were having meetings at turns in our various brothers' homes. So love was there on each and every member there. And then there was this determination that we must be pacesetters. Whatever we are, wherever we are, Ngas must be number one. And that spirit propelled us to go to whatever level that we achieved. And I still believe that our DNA is specially couched differently. So, and down in each Ngas, we should be able to do things differently. And I believe that we should be able to be ahead. Look at our leaders in the past. J.D. Gomo set a pace. Nobody has ever done anything like he did. Go on, set a pace. And I believe that each and every one of us, in whatever tier, we can do something outstanding for God. At the end of it all, when we hatched it and we thought through it, we thought that this is not just a one-year activity. This Puusdung must last each and every one of us. And so we thought through that this Puusdung that we started in 1988, there must be yearly performance evaluation of each Ngas that has any position at all. From the councillor, to the sweeper, to the permanent secretary, to whatever level. The week before Puusdung, we need to assemble and see how are we faring, where are we losing out. To those that have not performed well, we reprimand. To those that have done well, we commend. And at that meeting before Puusdung, we set an agenda for the next year. I said, next year now, these are the things that we should be pursuing. And such a meeting will propel us to dance on Saturday very well for Puusdung. That should be the spirit. Assessing yourself, setting an agenda, and then dancing because you have something in your kitty. And I guess that this is the time for the youth movement to learn, for the NDA to learn, that there must be performance evaluation of our nation. Everybody, honorable member, a cleaner, a sweeper, wherever you are, yearly you'll be subjected to evaluation. Big organizations has annual performance evaluation. Our nation should have that. And then we set an agenda. By the time we go 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you'll be shocked to see what we can do. So I believe we need to get back and assess ourselves and criticize ourselves and get united and begin to do things right, because God has divinely put us to lead and He will hold us accountable. And I pray that God will help us so that we can trace ourselves back and do things the way God wants us to do.